Hit a little olive oil on the bottom. So I'm going to lay the 12 ounces of pasta right there. So let's grab a bunch.
The Cooking with Jack Show, a YouTube cooking program that constantly begs the question, what is actually considered cooking? And generally, the answer to that question is nothing that Jack makes. And sadly, today we're about to see that nothing has changed, as we join back with Jack for our favorite cooking series, Lazy Man's Cooking, as Jack makes what is by far the most disgusting, quote, pasta dinner ever imagined. I think you'd probably go to prison for calling this pasta in Italy. I honestly think you should probably go to prison for calling this pasta in America, but I guess we're just gonna have to see it through. Let's begin. Please subscribe.
Onions, garlic, cherry tomatoes, shaved Parmesan cheese, olive oil, and basil leaf, and basil leaf, and basil leaf, and lots of basil leaf, because I love it.
Alright, so let's zoom in on these ingredients real quick before they disappear into the void. I just want to note that there is absolutely no form of pasta sauce in this recipe, nor are there ingredients where you make one. We're already off to what cannot really be considered a great start.
Okay, let's build this pan. Here we go. Hit a little olive oil on the bottom. So I'm going to lay the 12 ounces of pasta right there.
Okay, so, yeah. I really don't know what Jack is doing. I've watched the man cook pasta before. I know that he at least kind of knows how to make it. I mean, Jack, what is this? You're gonna cook pasta in a saucepan with some olive oil? Are you gonna fry the pasta, Jack? I mean, come on, what's the thought process?
My onions in there. Place my tomatoes over here. My garlic right here. My basil leaves. Place them right on top. A little here, a little there. Little spots. There you go. All right. So that's what we got right there. Next thing you're going to do is pour in your water. It says 4.5 cups, so bring it in nice and slow. We're going to bring the water to a boil.
Okay, so I might just be making a fool of myself, but knowing Jack, I'm going to go ahead and say that I'm right. I've never seen anybody do this. I mean, this is not a common technique, right? To boil everything you're going to put in a pasta, including the pasta itself, in one pan at one go. I mean, please tell me this is not a thing.
Now I'm going to add a little step here. Basically, I'm going to, while I'm waiting for it to boil, add a little salt and pepper to the mix, because as I go on, I'm going to stir this up. So I kind of want my salt and pepper to, so I'll put a little bit of salt for now, and I'm a big pepper fan, so I put my pepper in. I want that to kind of cook in with everything else, so we'll add a little more later for flavor, but right now, just hit it while you're waiting.
So you're telling me that he's not only boiling all of the ingredients in this dish, which is not appropriate for anything but the pasta. I mean, a boiled tomato? Yummy. But he's also only putting salt and pepper into this abomination. It's not just the technique that's bad. Thinking about eating this makes me feel sick.
And then as we're going to start mixing this once it starts cooking. Okay, so I've never done this recipe before. But my biggest fear is this stuff sticking. So as you're waiting for it to boil, I'm just going to jiggle my pasta around so we can get separation going as it heats up. And they're saying about, once it boils, you wait about 9 minutes, 9 or 10 minutes, depends on, you could taste the, sample the pasta and you'll know. The pasta should be al dente, which means firmness but not hard.
Okay, so I know that I said that I've seen Jack make pasta before, but it sounds like he's following a recipe that's already been made. Is he actually reading the recipe like you're supposed to cook it all together at once? Because I refuse to believe that's actually how it's written.
Well, I can tell you guys this. It smells amazing. It's not going to be your typical red sauce pasta. This is more of a rustic dinner.
Jack, you can't just say it's rustic to make up for your caveman cooking. I mean, seriously, this is probably what the first humans were eating. No sort of sauce, no seasonings, just boil everything and hope for the best.
I don't know, guys. What do you think? It's at full speed right now. About 3 minutes left. I say we serve this up and give it a try. So let's grab a.
Look at how much liquid is dripping out of this pasta. I mean, he said it's been, what, 9 minutes? This is just gonna taste like pasta water. None of the vegetables have had enough time to do anything to the flavor. Like, they seriously don't even look cooked. I think they're still raw. I mean, come on, Jack. At least most of your recipes sometimes seem somewhat coherent. This is embarrassing even for you.
Grab a bunch of. Hit it with, once again, a little salt, a little pepper. And then I've got these beautiful Parmesan shavings that I'm gonna wanna dip into here. Just take a pinch.
I mean, I usually try not to be, like, mean to Jack, but he's been doing this for, like, over a decade. How does he not know what good cooking is at this point? I am not the first YouTuber to make videos about Jack, far from it. He's gotta know the general consensus is that he needs to change how he cooks. I just don't see how you can dedicate your livelihood to teaching people how to cook, and you never realize that you can't cook yourself.
A little bit of everything. Little onion. This is mine. Just letting you know. Can't pass it through the camera to you. It's perfectly al dente. It's going to hold together real well. A little bit of oil. The tomato. Salt and pepper is perfect.
You know when the best compliment you have for your own cooking is that the salt and pepper is perfect? That you have probably made a grave mistake. Those should be like the least noticeable things in a well-cooked dish. That's like building a mega mansion where the most noticeable features are concrete and cinder blocks. Salt and pepper should be the foundation of your food, not the highlight. You know, I honestly didn't think we could get worse than Lazy Man's lasagna. I thought that would remain the king of bad lazy man's cooking, but this has got to be by far the worst one we've ever seen. I honestly don't even think this should be considered a recipe. There is no actual dish being made here. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and walk on over to that subscribe button and touch it. It's free. It won't cost you anything. But for now, that's all I have for you today. Bye.
Subscribe.